All right, wait. I know you're already hovering over the dislike button. Just hear me out for a moment, all right? I want Diablo 4 on PC just as much as the next guy, just as much as everybody else. But that doesn't mean that I don't want Diablo on my phone as well, you know? Diablo was one of the first PC games I fell in love with back in 1996. I first played it at a LAN center in my town called Cyber Arena, and after that, like I just fell in love with it. Not long after that, I used my money from slinging newspapers to go buy the game myself. I even bought Hellfire 2 when that came out, and I played the multiplayer version of Hellfire on a multiplayer service called Kali online. So me and Diablo, we go way back. So I know a lot of people out there are saying if you're a hardcore Diablo fan, you don't want Diablo Immortal. And I think that's completely wrong, completely false. But yeah, I love the franchise from its very PC roots, and that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it in other forms as well. I actually was extremely skeptical when I first heard about Diablo 3 being ported to consoles. I thought to myself, there's no way this can work. And you need a mouse to be effective at all. But a friend of mine at work, he had a Diablo 3 on PlayStation, and I went over there one day, and he suggested we try it, so I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And it was actually a lot of fun. And that was probably the turning point that made me believe that Diablo can be universal. You could ask anyone who I've been gaming with for a long period of time. I actually mentioned several times over the years how much I would love Diablo as a mobile game. Action RPGs, I believe, are the perfect types of games for killing time. Back in 2013, I was already imagining it. If I could have the opportunity to just chill and play Diablo while waiting in line at the DMV, or visiting my in laws, or just while I'm dropping a deuce, I'd be in heaven. It doesn't mean I don't want to play Diablo on my PC as well. In fact, I will primarily play Diablo Immortal on my PC. For some reason, in 2019, a lot of people aren't aware that emulators exist. Yeah, so you can play Diablo Immortal on your PC. Yeah, so after all the hate that Diablo Immortal has received, I decided it's time for me to make a video solely based on why I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to it. It's been no secret that I'm a fan of Diablo Immortal. If you've been watching my channel over the last year, then you should know I've mentioned on multiple occasions that I'm very excited for Diablo Immortal. And in fact, this channel will probably be Diablo Immortal focused. I've just been, I guess, kind of practicing my content creation until that moment comes. In fact, this year was kind of disappointing at the start because I was under the impression that the game would be releasing in the first half of 2019. Because in an interview at BlizzCon, the lead producer said that it would be releasing very soon.
Do you know when release date is gonna?
Very soon.
And then around February or March, NetEase said it was basically done. So month after month, I was just creating content from other games just to pass the time while waiting for Diablo Immortal. And yeah, that's obviously, I was pretty disappointed about that. Come July, I just had basically given up hope, and it was obvious that they would be waiting at least until BlizzCon or after BlizzCon to do anything more. Because, I mean, there has been like very little. I mean, they haven't said anything. Nothing, not a single word. I think actually this past week there was an interview where Diablo Immortal was brought up. But yeah, this entire year was dead silence. And yeah, it was kind of disappointing for me and a lot of other people out here. I'm not the only person that's looking forward to Diablo Immortal. Okay. Anyway, yeah, obviously I'm still looking very much forward to it. And let me tell you why. First of all, it's going to be unlike any other ARPG on mobile to date. Some people are already assuming Diablo Immortal will fail based on the facts that most other action RPGs on mobile haven't done extremely well. But if you've actually looked at and or played those other action RPGs on mobile, you would see how flawed they are in so many ways. For example, the latest one made by Tencent called Raziel has failed pretty hard in China, but the reasons for its failing is not based on the fact that it's an action RPG, but because of its design. Uh, in Raziel, actually not just Raziel, basically in every other mobile ARPG, uh, it's just lacking one very important feature that is basically the staple of the genre, and that is random item drops. Specifically, items dropping on the ground. Like, uh, people overlook the the significance of items dropping on the ground. Every single mobile action RPG lacks this feature, and it's very, very important. We won't even go into detail about why this feature is not in these games. Let's just say pay to win and loot boxes and leave it at that. The reason why it's very important, though, is because this is what gets players excited while playing these games. When you're running about slaying mobs left and right, you expect to see results, tangible, immediate results. And there's always this tiny bit of excitement, this tiny little release of endorphins in your brain when you see and hear an item hit the ground, especially when it's an unidentified item that you don't recognize and you just can't wait to find out what you've got. Diablo Immortal does have this feature, but none of these other mobile action RPGs have this feature. All you see on the ground that drops is currency or material drops that you need to turn in to get the items later on, or some other, or buy the items, or have a chance to open a box to get an item. And it's just terrible. It's not the way an action RPG is supposed to be played. Yeah, and that's one of the primary reasons why they have failed. Uh, the second reason I'm excited about Diablo Immortal is the world, and the fact that it will be the first ever MMO version of a Diablo game. In these other action RPGs that we've mentioned, the world is fragmented into basically hundreds of tiny little dungeons that have little to no variety. Though Diablo has these sort of dungeons as well, Diablo also has a very big open world outdoor area, which is fun to explore. And in Diablo Immortal, we will have a big, seamless open world map where we can find many different types of enemies and activities while running into random people from the MMO aspect that are basically doing the same thing. You'll feel like you're part of a bigger, living, breathing environment rather than being secluded in all these tiny little pocket dimensions that these other games have. And the third and most important to me reason is the story. Diablo has an amazing story. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend playing or watching videos that cover all of the lore behind Diablo. It's all very interesting, and most of it is very well written. A lot of people hated the story in Diablo 3, probably because they killed Cain, but spoiler alert, but I actually enjoyed it. If you took the time to listen to all the optional dialogue options in the game, which is like 80% of the story, and do all the companion side quests and stuff like that in Diablo 3, there was quite a lot of very cool stuff to learn and discover about the world. As a big fan of Diablo in general, I'm excited. New story, more people to play with, and I've been waiting for this for years. So, guys, let me reiterate. You can play Diablo Immortal on PC. Emulators run these games nearly flawless. Obviously, won't be responsive as a game made for PC, but it's pretty close. And if you're a fan of the franchise or the genre, I think you should at least give it a try. We only have 1 month left until BlizzCon, boys, and I'm super excited. I feel like they will launch it during BlizzCon, maybe, or at least there's going to be a beta. Like they're going to announce a beta during BlizzCon. Knowing Blizzard and how greedy they are for money, they're probably going to have like, okay, all attendees get beta, and owners of the virtual ticket, you get access to beta. So they're going to sell virtual tickets like crazy, and then we'll all feel really cheated, but we'll be excited because it's a Blizzard game, and we always buy the Blizzard games. Yeah, that's just how it goes. That's just the way it's going to go. This channel will be primarily a Diablo Immortal channel for a very long time. So if you're a believer now, please hit that subscribe button one time for the one time. If not, then, well, why are you even still watching this video at this point? I'm out of here, guys. We'll see you next time in the next video. Peace.